my name is Rachel, and today we're talking about Task 18 for the book Riot Reading Challenge, and this is a novel by a trans or non-binary author. Now, I do want to preface this by saying I find these type of categories so hard because I feel like I totally appreciate the idea of supporting diverse voices. We need all kinds of voices and stories to be told. I'm not arguing that, but I do feel like sometimes it feels weird to be searching for people solely based on something like gender or the color of their skin. I feel like it's kind of weird sometimes, but I totally get why it's important to specifically reach out to those minority areas and support them, but sometimes it feels a little strange, and I don't really feel comfortable like Googling information about authors. Like, is this person transgender? Is this person gay? Is this, you know what I mean? I feel weird about it sometimes, but I believe I have acquired some very interesting titles that will fit into this category. So without further ado, let's just jump in. So immediately, I'm going to go against what I just said. We're kind of going to put getting started off for just a second. Because when I first read this, I just read it as a book by a trans or non-binary author. So I found a nonfiction book that I was very much planning to read. I still am planning to read it, but obviously it's not going to work for this challenge because it specifically says a novel. But I still wanted to mention it because it's very much captured my attention. And in case you haven't heard about it, I just wanted to share it with you. But it will not work for this challenge, and that's called I'm Afraid of Men by Vivek Shraya, and I've seen this on BookTube a few times. I've seen this cover so many times, and it just seems really, really interesting. This is a feminist memoir, and yeah, I just am very interested in this. It's super short. I think it's less than 100 pages, so I'm definitely considering reading this just in general, although it won't meet this requirement for this challenge because it is not indeed a novel. Okay, so now on to books that will work for this challenge. These are all novels that should work. So first up is Freshwater by Akwaeke Emezi, and I think this is supposed to be like a contemporary novel set in Nigeria, I think, or at least is about a Nigerian woman, and it also discusses mental health. And I love this cover. And this just came out last year, so it hasn't really had a chance to, I don't think, get a lot of coverage. So I'm excited to read this. Next up is one that I've heard a lot about as well. That is All the Birds in the Sky. This is by Charlie Jane Anders, and I believe this is a futuristic novel, maybe with some magical realism. I believe this is one that I have for our high school that is supposed to be shelved soon, so I would love to read that to be able to promote it to the kids beforehand. So that is a very, very strong contender. Next up is one that, again, I've seen the cover of so many times, and it sounds like a lot of fun. It's called Text from Jane Eyre and Other Conversations with Your Favorite Literary Characters. Now, the name on the cover is Mallory Ortberg, but I believe that he now goes by Daniel Ortberg, so just be aware of that. I think it's probably cross-referenced a lot, but on Goodreads, he is listed as Mallory Ortberg, and again, on the cover of this book, it is Mallory Ortberg, but I believe it is Daniel now. But this sounds fantastic. The cover is bright, and it looks so much fun. I think it would be a lot of fun to maybe read Jane Eyre, read this book, and read My Plain Jane, like all in the same span of time, and really get a full Jane Eyre immersion. I think that sounds like so much fun. And last but not least is one that I feel like would work for so many categories for this Read Harder challenge, and that is An Unkindness of Ghost by River Solomon. This cover is beautiful, and like I said, it's come up for several different categories that I've researched. I believe this will work for challenge number 3, an author of color that won an award in 2018. This would also work for an author of color book set in space. And I believe, I thought there was one more that it worked for, but now I don't remember the other one. But definitely number 18, like we're talking about today. So if you read this one, it's going to check off a lot of boxes. And again, it just has such a beautiful cover. So I'm super excited that this could be an option. And One of the things I'm actually really enjoying about doing these videos this year is that even if I'm only reading one book for the challenge, it's making me aware of so many more that I might circle back to later or maybe even get to this year, and I'm really grateful for that. A lot of these things I wouldn't have read, even though I consider myself interested in a lot of different books. You find yourself in a rut. So I'm glad that I am able to branch out with this challenge, and I'm really excited about some of these. So there are some of my picks. Let me know if you have any favorite novels by a trans or non-binary author. I'd love to know down below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.